Mind's Eye Audio presents Loving and Letting Go, The Adventures of the Storyteller. This is a story about life, but it's not your average story about life. But now that I think about it, when was the last time that I wrote an average story? I'd like to tell you that this story is absolutely true, but I doubt that you would even believe me. This story begins with a young man pacing back and forth in the waiting room at the County General Hospital. It was a proud and happy moment for him as he nervously awaited the birth of his first child. Everything was progressing exactly as it was supposed to, and now it was simply a matter of waiting and letting nature take its course. His wife had been in labor for hours, and it appeared that their baby was reluctant to come out. Suddenly he walked into the delivery room and placed his head on his wife's belly and spoke these words. "It's going to be okay. I know you're afraid to leave the comforts of your home, but there's a big, beautiful world out here waiting for you. It's filled with many people who are waiting to love you just as I love you. You can let go now. It's okay." At that very moment, his wife went into her final labor, and to them was born a beautiful, healthy baby girl. While all this was going on, there was another gathering taking place in a city nearby, yet very, very far away. This was a gathering of saddened angels in heaven, saying their goodbyes to one of their own who had asked God for an opportunity to experience life in the human world. The angel had been granted the request and was nervous as the appointed hour approached. In fact, this beautiful angel was hesitant and almost reluctant to let go of all that she had known. As the portal lay open for her to enter into the world of man, the angel stood in the doorway and paused. She stood motionless until suddenly, out of nowhere, she heard a voice in her heart saying, "It's going to be okay. I know you're afraid to leave the comforts of your home, but there is a big, beautiful world out here waiting for you. It's filled with many people who are waiting to love you just as I love you. You can let go now. It's okay." Then the angel smiled, stepped through the doorway into our world, and at that very moment, a beautiful baby girl was born. At the same time, in yet another city, not too far away, more angels had come together in celebration. They were anticipating the arrival of a beautiful spirit into their realm. They were anxious, and there was much joy among them. One of the angels paced back and forth. He had been waiting the longest for this spirit to come. This angel was perplexed, as it almost appeared to him that this spirit was reluctant to let go, even though it was the appointed time. They just seemed to be fighting against it. Suddenly this angel walked over toward the clouds that separated their world from ours, and he bent down and spoke these words. "It's going to be okay. I know you're afraid to leave the comforts of your home, but there is a big, beautiful world out here waiting for you. It's filled with many people who are waiting to love you just as I love you. You can let go now. It's okay." At that very moment, a spirit was born into the kingdom of heaven. Even as all this was going on, there was still yet another family gathered. This was taking place in another city not too far away from the first city. This family had come to comfort their elderly grandmother, who was now entering the final moments of her life. There was much sadness all around as sisters and brothers made efforts to console one another. The doctors told the family that there was nothing more that could be done. The grandmother had lived a long and wonderful life. Though every effort was made to make the grandmother comfortable, her grimacing expression made it clear that she was struggling even into her final moments. This went on for several hours and was very painful for the family to witness. The grandmother seemed to be reluctant to relinquish her grip on life, until suddenly there was a voice in her heart that spoke these words to her. "It's going to be okay. I know you're afraid to leave the comforts of your home, but there is a big, beautiful world out here waiting for you. It's filled with many people who are waiting to love you just as I love you. You can let go now. It's okay." At that very moment, the grandmother smiled a big, wonderful smile of relief as she passed on from this world. Though the family mourned her loss, They were so moved by her sudden sense of peace that they were also happy for her because they knew somehow that she was going to a better place. There is more to this life than our human eyes can see. Let us embrace and celebrate all of it.